What does it take to be an entrepreneur?
When you wake up early in the morning thinking about, your vision that you have.
Whenever you choose to set up any form of business, you have to be passionate about it.
You literally want something to be successful.
To be successful in entrepreneurship.
Realize they needed to go to school to learn the profession.
Meet the brains behind the business.
Wait for that money to come, and you must have a budget.
And one of the mistakes when they try to be entrepreneurs is they jump into it a little bit too early.
If I don't know, then I know a lot of people don't know.
Mind Your Own Business. This program provides the platform for budding entrepreneurs to initialize, educate, and develop ideas emerging into the global stage of the economy. Stay tuned on this station for Mind Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank. Every week on Mind Your Own Business, MYOB, 2 lucky winners stand a chance of winning 100,000 naira alongside consolation prizes. And that's not all. Look out for the grand draw. 3rd prize winner, 200,000 naira. 2nd prize winner, 300,000 naira. And the 1st prize winner, 500,000 naira. Okay, here's how you participate. New and existing customers have to open and fund a UBA Lion Prime basic account with at least 20,000 naira or more. It's that simple. Follow UBA/MYOB on social media for more updates. Mind Your Own Business is brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
This is Mind Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Welcome to Mind Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank. I'm Wale Famrewa, and thank you very much for listening in this morning. Of course, we tell you stories of entrepreneurs making money, but also making a difference in Nigeria, Africa's largest economy. It's a tough place to be, but someone's got to do it. And we are finding out that some people are making really, really major impact in this environment. And we have a very special guest today. We have Ifeyinwa Ighodalo, the founder and CEO of DO.II, going to tell us her story as well. Let me not let the cat out of the bag. I think I'll allow you, Ifeyinwa, to start. And thank you so much for joining us today. So give us the background to DO.II. Where did it all start?
Good morning, everybody. And hi, Wale. Thank you for inviting me. I'm really honored to be here. DO.II, where did it start? I started business almost 30 years ago. And I started with a company called Design Options. Why did I go into business in the first place? From very young, I knew I was going to be an entrepreneur. That word, I'm not even sure it existed then. I knew I was going to go into business.
Right.
My father was studying for a master's in business administration when I was about 12 years old. And he used to come home, talk to me, and go over some of his work with me. Mm-hmm. And I actually had discovered I had an interest in business. Didn't know what it was going to be. I studied accountancy in the university because I was very good with maths, and because I knew I was going to go into business. Still didn't know what it was going to be. While I was in university, I then discovered I had an interest in interiors.
Okay.
Sometimes I wonder if I would have studied architecture instead. Interior design wasn't offered as a formal course, 30, 40 years ago. Mm-hmm. But anyway, I studied accountancy. When I graduated, I then decided to pursue interior design.
Okay.
Now, what I actually ended up doing, which is really my real passion, is furniture manufacturing. Mm-hmm. The interior design aspect of my business is to support the core business of furniture manufacturing, and for now, mostly retail. What else can I say about my journey? So that's pretty much it.
Okay.
Like I said, I started with Design Options.
Right.
And
so that's where you got trained to some extent?
No, I started the company, Design Options. Yes, and I had a partner.
Oh, right.
And that business was about 25 years old when it sort of evolved into DO.II.
Right.
Which is the business I now own solely.
Okay, so tell us about what you're doing and how far has it come?
It's come a long, long way. It's been really, really, really hard work. Much harder than I would have liked it to be. We started business originally when furniture was banned, and over time we've lived through many bans and unbanning and banning of furniture.
Wow, that must be so disruptive.
It is. It's been quite a ride.
All right, so what exactly is DO.II?
DO.II is an interior design and furniture manufacturing company. We manufacture locally. We are.
That's great to know.
Yes, we're very proud of that. We are proudly Nigerian. Before, again, it became a buzzword. We provide one-stop solutions for all your furniture and interior needs. That's what we do. Aside from that, yes, we are predominantly female. People accuse us of being, or accuse me of being gender.
Oh, interesting.
Well, on the white collar side.
And I imagine that helps sales to some extent.
It does. No, not just in the front office, even on the back end.
Oh, really?
I mean, I'm there. My GM of operations is female. The head of operations is female. I have a lot of men in accounting and in the production section, but really, we are really gender friendly.
Right.
Female gender friendly. Okay. We have our own factory. We empower Nigerians by providing employment and opportunities to grow. So those are all the things that DO.II is about.
Great. And I imagine you're also manufacturing to the standards.
Yes, to global standards, yes.
Tell us about that, how you're able to achieve that in a tough market like Nigeria.
Not easy. It's not easy at all. I personally have very exacting standards. I am a workaholic. I tend to drive people a lot. Now, I've been able to put together over time a team of, particularly the management, a team of highly qualified people in the various departments, heading the various departments. We have our standards, we have our quality control, we have, like I said, very, very exacting standards, and that's what we work with.
All right, we'll hear more about your story. Well, as usual, we'll have to take a commercial break, and before we do that, we want to give you an opportunity to make a music selection. Ifeyinwa, what would you like us to play for you this morning?
This morning, I'd like you to play Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran, mostly because I still remember my husband's reaction the first time he heard that song. So
right.
let's play that for him as well. Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll bring you more with Ifeyinwa Ighodalo right after the break.
Coming up on Mind Your Own Business.
Anybody can fail, but the thought of lying down, like you're in a boxing match and they knock you out. Well, you're not unconscious, but you're knocked down. The thought of staying down just doesn't occur to me. So the perseverance for me has been, no matter what comes, I'm able to just take it. Doesn't mean I don't go down, but I still come up fighting. That's basically.
Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Every week on Mind Your Own Business, MYOB, 2 lucky winners stand a chance of winning 100,000 naira alongside consolation prizes. And that's not all. Look out for the grand draw. 3rd prize winner, 200,000 naira. 2nd prize winner, 300,000 naira. And the 1st prize winner, 500,000 naira. Okay, here's how you participate. New and existing customers have to open and fund a UBA Lion Prime basic account with at least 20,000 naira or more. It's that simple. Follow UBA/MYOB on social media for more updates. Mind Your Own Business is brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Welcome back to Mind Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank. We're speaking to Ifeyinwa Ighodalo, the founder and CEO of DO.II, and she's giving us her story. And Ifeyinwa, I want us to talk a bit more about DO.II and how it works and the perseverance story behind that as a woman, starting with that theme, because we're in a society where it can be tough for women, but obviously you've been able to pull through and make a very successful business. So tell us about that story, being a woman and persevering as a woman in business.
Okay. Let me start by saying that yes, I am a woman and yes, I run a business. But growing up, I never thought of myself as a woman, as a female. I felt that anything anybody could do, male or female, I could do even better. So with that mindset, I think has carried me a long way through in my business. I never, even starting the business in the first place, I started business when, like I said, furniture was banned. And the type of furniture that was locally available didn't fit the standards I wanted for my interiors. So I just got up and told my father that, listen, I was going to start a business. And he said to me at the time, that's not quite how it works. I hadn't actually worked for anybody apart from my youth corps.
Right.
You need to get a job, and we were living in Enugu at the time.
Okay.
And I said, oh no, just set me up. I'll go to Lagos and I'll start a business. And he said, no, that's not how it works. You need to actually get a job, work for somebody, gain experience, very valuable words. A young lady of under 30, I didn't fully appreciate what he was saying. I so do now.
Right.
And starting out, like I said, I didn't consider myself a female going into business. I was just going into business as an individual. And I think that's a good mindset for everybody to have. Having started the business, perseverance, I don't like failure. It's one of my red flags. So the thought that I could fail at anything is not, it just doesn't, it just can't happen.
Is it that you don't think you can fail, or you don't accept failure and you just keep going?
I don't accept failure.
Right.
Anybody can fail, but the thought of lying down, like you're in a boxing match and they knock you out. Well, you're not unconscious, but you're knocked down. The thought of staying down just doesn't occur to me. So the perseverance for me has been, no matter what comes, I'm able to just take it. Doesn't mean I don't go down, but I still come up fighting. That's basically it. And that's really the story of this business. It has evolved in so many ways. The styles, the people. One thing I will also say, I'm finding more and more the older I get, is I get calls, I get emails, I get gifts from people who have worked with me over time, whose lives I have touched in ways that I never even imagined. And again, that's one of the things that keeps me going. So the business has grown, like you said. It's grown from a one-man business. I literally started it out of my car almost 30 years ago. Yes, it was just me, my car, and I was going to various clients' homes. Right now, I can't imagine, we have over 3,000 clients in our database.
Wow.
We keep having repeat customers. We have clients who have been coming to us for over 20 years.
Wow. From
design options, like I said, into DO.II. We have people, our furniture is of very good quality. We're particularly proud of the quality, the craftsmanship that goes into the detail that goes into our furniture and our interiors.
Right. In achieving that quality, I want to really hear about the perseverance story there, because I imagine starting off, this is what you wanted in terms of quality, but Nigeria obviously was a tough place to achieve that. And you even spoke earlier about the fact that policies were changing over time. One day it's banned, the next day it's not. Yes. So help us appreciate what it took for you to persevere there.
Okay, maybe because we focus on global standards. So regardless of what is happening here, you know how it is, we don't bring our standards down to whatever is obtained.
Have you ever been tempted to do that?
No, that's another thing. No. For me, it has to be a certain way. And it's not easy working with us or me in DO.II. And I'm sure my people will tell you. But at the end of the day, one of the things that drives us is our clients, happy customers. And as long as once we are focused on, like I said, on the global standards, making sure that, okay, let me give you an example. There are people who come into the showroom and then they say to either myself or whoever happens to be attending to them, where did you bring these items in from? And then we say, it's all manufactured here. They're like, here in Nigeria. So they assume most of the time that the items in our showroom are imported. Yes, are manufactured outside Nigeria. So again, that speaks to our global standards. So at a glance, you actually do not know that our furniture is locally produced. The perseverance to do that, you set your sights, you decide what you want to achieve, and you don't allow the day-to-day, the things that happen day to day to deflect you from your focus. So for us, maintaining those standards, keeping our clients happy, that's really what it's about.
Ifeyinwa, we need to pause now for a commercial break, but again, I'll give you the opportunity to make a music selection. What would you like?
Shekini by P Square.
All right, we'll come back after this break and continue our conversation with Ifeyinwa Ighodalo.
Coming up on Mind Your Own Business.
I would advise that before we actually go into a business, we maybe work. It doesn't have to be for 5 years. It could be a year. It could be 2 years. Work in a structured organization and understand how structure works so that when you set up your own organization, you have that as the foundation of your organization.
UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Every week on Mind Your Own Business, MYOB, 2 lucky winners stand a chance of winning 100,000 naira alongside consolation prizes. And that's not all. Look out for the grand draw. 3rd prize winner, 200,000 naira. 2nd prize winner, 300,000 naira. And the 1st prize winner, 500,000 naira. Okay, here's how you participate. New and existing customers have to open and fund a UBA Lion Prime basic account with at least 20,000 naira or more. It's that simple. Follow UBA/MYOB on social media for more updates. Mind Your Own Business is brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
Welcome back to Mind Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank. We're speaking to Ifeyinwa Ighodalo, the founder and CEO of DO.II. I want to hear more about this perseverance that we're seeing in manufacturing. Everyone talks about it being tough. You are manufacturing furniture of all things in this country. I imagine it has been difficult. Give us a sense of how difficult it is, and how do you motivate yourself to really overcome the challenges?
Okay. To be very honest, I can see you really want to know, but you're persevering.
I am persevering,
to find
yes,
out what haven't I told you. Okay, to be very honest, what gets me up every morning, going back to this thing, like you said, it is extremely difficult manufacturing in Nigeria, no matter what it is. I have a passion for what I do. I've had friends who have discovered what their real passion in life is in their 40s and 50s after they've worked in a different career. I was lucky enough to discover my passion pretty much coming out of university. So the fact that I have a passion for it, I actually enjoy what I do. Right. What I enjoy the most is the finished product. So most times when I'm going, I don't stop to think of the hardships, of the stress. It really hasn't been easy. And I actually believe in what I do. I am proud, because sometimes I also wonder, why don't I just even chuck it in and just bring in furniture? But I'm actually proud of the fact that my furniture meets exacting standards, meets global standards, and I think it's the pride, the combination of the pride and the passion. So we have the 3 P's: pride, passion, perseverance, or in whichever order. That's what's kept me going, and that's why I keep doing what I do. All
right. And I know you just mentioned 3 P's, but we'd like you to give us 3 tips for our entrepreneurs listening out there. What can you tell them in terms of moving ahead as entrepreneurs, those that are starting off and those that are already invested in entrepreneurship? Starting out,
I would give the same advice my father gave me. To run a successful business, you must have structure. It's not negotiable. Structure isn't something, I guess you can learn, you can actually study and learn, but I think the best way is to experience structure. So I would advise that before we actually go into a business, we maybe work. It doesn't have to be for 5 years. It could be a year. It could be 2 years. Work in a structured organization and understand how structure works so that when you set up your own organization, you have that as the foundation of your organization. Okay. Yeah. So I didn't start out that way because I didn't listen. You know, young people don't really listen. They know it all. And I didn't really listen to my father the way I should have on that part of my business.
And was there some pain as a result?
Lots of pain. Lots and lots of pain. I started the business grew, and then I started to structure. So it was like squeezing the toothpaste back into the tube. That's the way. But luckily now I'm proud to say we are structured. The second tip I would give to any human being as well as any entrepreneur is constant self-improvement. You need to read, you need to study, you need to learn about your business, learn about business in general, because like they say, business is the same whether you're running a car wash, you're manufacturing, it's business. So understand
how do you stay
business.
Updated? How do you educate yourself? Do you go for training courses? Do you
Yes, I
just
do.
read?
I read a bit. I go for training courses. I've been trying to make time, which I think I've finally found, to go back and actually really touch up on my formal education in business. Not necessarily in furniture manufacturing, but just in business itself. The other thing I would say is, if you look at some of the greatest vision statements of some companies, their vision is not to make money. It never is. It's to touch lives. So for as long as you're focused on touching a life, either bringing joy, bringing music to somebody, for us, it's creating spaces and pieces that we furnish your lives. And for us, in doing that, we're touching lives. Like I said in the previous segment, inadvertently and unintentionally, but I'm proud and happy with the feedback I'm getting for the many, many people's lives I have touched, who have either worked with me and gone on to start a career in interior design and or furniture making. And I keep getting so much positive feedback from them on how much I've impacted on their lives. So if you go into a business to touch lives in whatever form, be it toothpaste, air conditioning, it's all a way of touching lives, and you're passionate about it, you persevere, I think that will also keep you going and help to make your business successful. All right.
Well, final point just before we leave, again, I come back to this issue about you being in manufacturing. A tough place to be in this environment, no question.
Okay.
But you've been in it for a while.
Yes.
You've been in it for several decades.
Yes.
Do you think there is hope for those who are looking to venture into manufacturing today?
Yes, of course there's hope. And as we know, like everybody says, we have people from abroad bringing their goods to Nigeria. So we in Nigeria, there's a huge market. And particularly now, with the current trends in Nigeria now, we're forced to look inwards right now more than ever before. So made in Nigeria has become, it's trending, as young people would say. Yeah. It's trending. And so because the government also is more conscious of the fact that we have to look inwards in agriculture, in manufacturing, in all the various industries, I think this is also a good time for young entrepreneurs to kind of step up in whatever field it is. And I believe now more than ever we can sort of rely on the support of the government to seriously look at what our issues are and start helping us to deal with it in order for us to be competitive enough to commence export on a larger scale.
All right, Ifeyinwa, thank you so much for sharing your story with us. It's been great having Ifeyinwa Ighodalo, the founder and CEO of DO.II. And that's our show for today. Thank you so much for listening. We'll come back next week with another program. Good morning.
For inquiries on Mind Your Own Business, follow on Twitter at MYOB Nigeria and UBA Group, Facebook.com/MYOB Nigeria and Facebook.com/UBA Group, Instagram.com/Mind Your Own Biz Nigeria, or email cfc@ubagroup.com. You can also call UBA CFC on 01-280-8822 or 01-631-9822 and 0700-2255-822. Today's business tips on Mind Your Own Business from Ifeyinwa Ighodalo is structure, self-improvement, and passion in touching lives. What does it take to be an entrepreneur?
When you wake up early in the morning thinking about, your vision that you have.
Whenever you choose to set up any form of business, you have to be passionate about it.
You literally want something to be successful.
To be successful in entrepreneurship.
Realize they needed to go to school to learn the profession.
Meet the brains behind the business.
Wait for that money to come, and you must have a budget.
One of the mistakes when they try to be entrepreneurs is they jump into it a little bit too early.
If I don't know, then I know a lot of people don't know.
Mind Your Own Business. This program provides the platform for budding entrepreneurs to initialize, educate, and develop ideas emerging into the global stage of the economy. Stay tuned on this station for Mind Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank.
That was Mind Your Own Business, brought to you by UBA, Africa's Global Bank.